Okay, so welcome to part 2 of the Stonecore. So we've just killed the worm boss, the first boss, and we're going through this tunnel, and we've got a new trash mob, the Crystal Spawn Giant. Some frame rate issues there, but we get him under control, and he summons these red beams. From these red beams we get a crystal shard, and the shard will target someone, attempt to run to them and explode. Now they've only got about 10k health, they're really low on health. You just want a ranged DPS or even the healer, or any ranged ability you have. Just use it on it, kite it, kill it. Otherwise it will cause some party-wide damage. Not too bad in normal mode, you can heal through it, but on heroic it would be optimal to really kill it. So you see there I've got about 5k off on it with my abilities alone, and I am a tank. What ranged abilities do I have? Exactly. So we're going to speed through this. It's some flares again. We don't really care about the flares. We showed you those earlier in part 1 of the video. Getting rid of those rather quickly, not standing in their flare. You've got lots of patrols around here. So we pull the second crystallized one. And there are some AoE pulls as well. Nice little mixture in this part of the dungeon. And just moving through quickly. Right, so we'll get rid of that and we go through to this tunnel where the second boss is. So we emerge from this tunnel, and somewhat of a gauntlet here. We have these shadows on the floor. What could they be shadows of? Well, let's have a look behind us to see. And oh yes, they are shards falling from the sky. So, and we appear to just pull some ads there from absolutely nowhere. Shaman dies, but it's no big issue. We get rid of them, we res him up, and I do believe we are moving into the boss fight. So yeah, we're resing the shaman. Now here we are in the fight. Now this is the air phase. He drops more of these shards. This is your bread and butter, the ground phase here. It does a breath, so keep him faced away from your party. And there are line of sight issues with these shards falling from the sky, so make sure your healer is in line of sight of the tank. He will summon these pools of fire on the ground, normally at players' feet. They start off as a bit of dust, and they graduate into pools of fire. They appear to be coming from the bottom of the earth or something. I don't know what it's meant to be exactly, but we're just taking him down here. And it's a rinse repeat sort of thing. Just avoid that AoE attack, pick him up when he's down, preferably pop a cooldown as a tank when he is down, because your healer will be out of sync for a second, it seems, anyway. Got about 2.5 million health this boss, about 500k more than the first boss. So it's a little bit longer, a little bit tougher on your DPS. They've got to last for longer. Healer's going to need to heal for longer. Tougher on the old mana there. We can see a pool of lava spawning from the left there, and there should be one spawning from the right, but the boss is dead, and once again no loot. So we move on. Alright, so we have new trash here, and do you remember the Zulaman Scout? Well, same mechanic here. These orcs here, non-elite mobs, but they are kind of like scouts. If you aggro them, they will try and run to the nearest trash pack. So as you saw there, we rooted, we stunned, we ganked. Not a lot of health. You can one-shot it if you all cast at the same time, but best to get a stun in. And you can see there's another one in this pack of trash here, so we mark it as the skull, wait for the patrol to move away. And a couple of new mobs here. We have some sort of warlock which summons imps, and these two fire elementals which do a fire spit attack which hits random parts of the ground, but you'll be able to see the parts it's hitting after we pull it here. And there we go with the pull, going straight for that scout first. then we're taking the fire elementals down. You'll see what the fire elementals do. They cause quite a lot of AoE damage, and it's very avoidable, so don't stand in it. As you see here, you see the projected textures going up there. That's where the fire is going to land, which basically means don't stand there. We've routed the warrior at the back there. Don't want his attacks. Marking the skull there. Now, we do make a mistake soon. We actually aggro a scout and get another pack. You'll see that in a minute. Just going for that warlock there, keeping the AoE up. He summons little imps. Really easy to kill, about 4k HP, just keeps the AoE up. As long as you're not ruining the CC with AoE, AoE is good here. So as you can see, we've pulled the main pack away from the CC target. As you can see, a scout is there in the background. Lots of scouts moving throughout this area, you've got to watch out for them. So we're taking this mob here. We think we are home and dry, taking on the last fire elemental. And there is the scout. And for some reason the guy just decides to root it, even though he didn't aggro. He was well out of aggro range, and we pull an extra pack. Not to worry, that's me saying what the fuck, because why did you bother pulling that? But we're okay, we managed to take it on. Lots of AoE, lots of cooldowns used, and we do get rid of it without wiping, thankfully. Alright, so we'll leave that there and we'll go on to the next mob. You can see the dead bodies there, we dealt with that pretty well. And we've got this big Mulgar looking like mob. It is in fact a Stonecore bruiser. So this guy, he runs about, he'll jump on people. We tried stacking up, doesn't seem to work. Probably better to spread out because then you don't all get hit by the same attack. Leaves a debuff on the tank, so you want to take him down in a timely fashion, which we do. Not too much health. And you really want to just pull this guy by himself. If you get another pack of trash with this guy, you are going down, most likely. By himself, pretty easy to deal with. Now we make quick work of him, and we move on. And we have more scouts about, more packs of trash. We'll get to see a bit more of that in part 3 of the video. So we'll see you after the break.